Thank you so much. So yeah, during our brief time together, I'm going to talk about some solutions that we have found to be successful here in Missoula, Montana. So we are the second largest city in the state of Montana, and despite our relatively small population, we are actually pretty highly susceptible to having poor air quality, and that is because of our geography. So you can kind of get a sense for it in this photo. Missoula is located where 5 valleys all converge, and so because of that, we're kind of in a sense boxed in by 5 different mountain ranges that makes it really difficult for the air to kind of flow in and out of the area. So as a result, CO2 emissions in a sense get trapped in our airshed. So because of that geography, the work that we do with transportation options is even more important to the health of our community. And so Missoula is an urban area, but we're located in a very rural state where the mentality very much centers around driving. We have pretty low traffic for the most part here in Missoula. Our urbanized area is in a compact valley, and we do have rivers with limited crossings. So there is some congestion during peak commute times in areas that do bottleneck, but I would guess that most of the people listening in who are in much larger cities would probably laugh at what we consider to be horrible traffic. So it's pretty minimal. And most places in town do offer free parking, and it's pretty abundant. The 2 exceptions to that would be the university campus and then also the downtown area. And then being in Montana, of course, we do have long winters with a lot of precipitation. So even for those who might be interested in biking or walking, they may not feel comfortable doing so out of all months of the year. So when we talk about transportation behavior change, we often talk about the carrot and the stick approach. So here in Missoula, we don't have a lot of disincentives to driving alone. So we don't have a lot of sticks here, unfortunately. So instead, we really try and focus on that carrot approach of emphasizing the benefits associated with sustainable transportation modes and also offering incentives. And one of the amenities that we like to highlight as a carrot would be our sustainable transportation infrastructure. Being a small municipality, we don't have access to large funds coming in annually to complete these projects. So the way that we've been able to develop such a well-connected network has been through really incremental change over a long period of time. So for example, our bicycle pedestrian office was started in the late 70s. It was one of the first in the country. So we've been building these projects slowly over time. You can see on our section of our bike map here, the purple lines are off-street bike and ped trails. And then the blue lines are bike lanes. And then we do have one cycle track, which is in the photo to the right, and that's located on our main corridor in the downtown area. We also recently installed a bicycle-only traffic signal, and that allows one of our trails to go through an intersection at a diagonal crossing, and that was the first in the state. In addition, we have a pretty high level of service for our bus service. It's called Mountain Line. There are 14 different routes, and 2 of them operate on high-frequency service, which comes every 15 minutes. And in 2016, Mountain Line was able to go fare-free. So it makes a strong case that even if someone does have free parking at their workplace, they can have significant cost savings on gas and car maintenance by leaving their car at home if they're able to take the bus free of charge. Another thing that we have going for us here in Missoula is that we have a pretty environmentally conscious and active community. Missoula is growing at a very rapid rate, and we tend to attract people who are appealed to the outdoors and access to outdoor activity and recreation, which we have great access to. So we tend to attract a certain demographic. I would say that we probably have a much higher than normal, than average percentage of people that, for example, might hop on their fat bike and make the trek to work in a negative 10-degree day through the snow. So we've got that going for us as well. So with all of those things going for us, we have achieved a higher than average mode split among sustainable transportation modes. So that is something that we we have kind of a good place to start from, but we are working towards continuing our mode shift even further. So another benefit is that the decision makers here in Missoula are also committed to continuing to promote sustainable modes. So in the 2016 Long Range Transportation Plan, they adopted these ambitious mode shift goals, which we're hoping to reach by 2045. So that gives you an idea of the environment that we're working in here in Missoula. So Missoula in Motion, we are focused on educating and encouraging individuals to use sustainable transportation options. We run a number of different programs throughout the course of the year, as you can see on the screen. We are a small staff of just 3 people. We're funded by Congestion Mitigation Air Quality Funds, and the agency has been working towards these goals since 1997. So one of our programs, Way to Go Missoula, is our individual encouragement program. So we use the Ride Amigos platform. We offer monthly incentives for people that log sustainable trips, and we do that by partnering with different local businesses. And so one thing to note that's unique to our program is that we allow individuals to log both sustainable commutes and also errands. We know that certain people that may be coming from more rural areas don't have a lot of options available to them, but we think there's still a benefit in encouraging them and incentivizing them to, once they get to their workplace, to leaving their car there for the entirety of the day. So if they have appointments or other meetings off location during the course of the workday, we incentivize them to bike or walk or bus to those places. One thing that we worked with Ride Amigos to develop that's specific to our program is an additional bike layer within the trip planning widget. So when someone types in their home location and their work, they can choose their bike route based on level of comfort. So we have a more comfortable route and a more direct route. We heard from a lot of people that had never considered biking to work, that when they thought about biking there, they would think about going there the way that they typically drive, which is often on busier streets with a lot of traffic. So this helps people kind of navigate and identify those maybe lower stress neighborhood streets that parallel the busy streets, and then also connect to our trail system. And we also do different seasonal programs. So we just finished the Clear the Air Challenge, which was a push to encourage sustainable transportation during the month of January. And we focus a lot of our outreach on working with different employers. One thing to note is that here in Missoula, we don't have any ordinances or zoning requirements that require organizations to do TDM. So really all of our services are voluntary. So we really try and sell the value of our programming and also the value of having employees commute sustainably, the fact that it impacts employee health, employee productivity, and saves and cost savings, and also the impact on the environment that organizations can have if they invest in this. So another way that we've done this is in 2017, we started a mini grant program. So employers that work with us can apply for funding up to $1,000 to implement an improvement at their workplace where one that encourages sustainable transportation among employees. So that's been really successful and enabled us to capture the attention of a lot of employers. Another thing to note is because our programs are optional, we don't always have buy-in from the top within an employer. So we really tend to work with whoever at that organization is willing and interested to work with us. Maybe they're especially passionate about sustainable commuting. And so we oftentimes, that is someone that is maybe lower down in the totem pole, but we're still able to make pretty significant strides with whomever we can connect with at a workplace. And probably our most successful program is our COMMUTER Challenge. So it happens for 2 weeks every May in the spring. And we have set the goal of the challenge. So in order to win, your workplace has to get every single individual to log 1 sustainable commute. And so that has been really successful. Last year, we had one of our winning teams had all 47 people at their workplace log a trip. And so we really try and, rather than just rewarding people that are already doing that are already commuting sustainably. Our program really encourages every single person to think about how they're getting to work and really to discover all of the options available to them. So it's much more focused on shifting the mode rather than just awarding the diehards. Last year, we introduced some new categories to the challenge. We had Best Social Media Winner and Best Team Photo, and so those generated a lot of social media activity. We also had some press coverage from local media. So this program really does a great job of normalizing sustainable transportation within our community. And it also allows us to connect with, last year we had 97 workplaces. So create a connection with those workplaces, and then it enables us to work with them throughout the remainder of the year. So that is just a glimpse at what we do here in Missoula in the short time, but I'm happy to answer any questions you have.